This year seems to be already off to a great start with the release of Tekken 8. No exaggeration, this is the most fun I've had with a fighting game in years. Genuine fun. I'd say since Dragon Ball Fighters, maybe. Not saying that I didn't have fun with Street Fighter 6. I did have fun with that. I did enjoy it a lot. I did have fun with MK1, at least when it first came out. But as far as fun factor alone, this game is head and shoulders above those games, in my opinion. As far as fun factor, where I'm just like, damn, I'm having a blast playing this game. Win or lose, having a blast learning the mechanics, the characters, everything. Yeah, this game surprised me, to say the least. It didn't surprise me that it was good, because I've always liked Tekken. I've always been a fan of Tekken since I was a little kid. It surprised me just how much fun I was having with it. Because, like I said, even with Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat, I really loved Street Fighter 6. I still like that game, even though I haven't played it in a while. And I do think it's a fun game. MK1 can be fun. But something about this game is just, man, if you're playing with your friends, or even playing online, you will really have a blast. Especially if you're actually trying to get good at the game, if you're actually trying to grind out characters, learn the mechanics. This game is thoroughly enjoyable. And it's probably my favorite Tekken game since, probably since Tekken 5. I like Tekken Tag 2 as well. But this game, arguably better than Tekken 5. I think it is better than Tekken 5, to be honest. As again, like, I can't say if I like it more or not. Like, shit. It's just, I probably do like this more than Tekken 5, which is crazy. Because Tekken 5, for a long time, was my favorite one. That and Tekken 3. And I love Tekken Tag. But I'd say the main reason why I'd put this game above those, for me personally, like what made me like, man, I love this game, is some of the parts with the story. Now, most of the story is very campy, as you would expect if you played previous Tekkens. Tekken's always been a campy, goofy, sometimes serious series, right? There's always been goofy endings, goofy characters. Like, you got bears and kangaroos and dinosaurs in Tekken, so it's like you can't take it seriously, right? Obviously. But the parts that hit in this story, they hit hard. If you've been following the series and you've seen the movies, you're very familiar with the story, grew up playing it, I gotta say, no spoilers of course, but how they conclude this game was one of the best conclusions to a fighting game. Not just a fighting game, but to a story in general. As far as like long-term series, it's one of the most satisfying conclusions to a storyline that I've seen. Like, they really did this game for the fans, and it shows. Everything that happens, you could just tell they were like, alright, how can we make people that love Tekken happy? And they went above and beyond. And that's all I'll say. Like, I don't want to really talk about the story too much. The story was, like I said, campy. It had some really high moments and some moments that I didn't care about. I really didn't care for much. A lot of stuff that happens within the story revolves around Jin trying to find his way, right? He's trying to redeem himself, learn from his previous mistakes, the power of friendship, that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, this is cool, but where's it going? And it goes some places that I did expect, and then some places that I definitely did not. As far as, like I said, with the humor and some of the crazy fights that happened, I was like, huh? I couldn't even process some of the stuff that was happening at specific parts. But overall, if I'm being honest, the story was pretty okay for majority of it, right? It was just stuff was just happening. It's just like it made sense in context of what was going on, but I didn't really care for a lot of stuff that was happening initially. But by the time things wrap up, I found that the conclusion of this story alone was so good that it basically wiped out any problems I may have had. And honestly, I didn't really have much problems because I know what to expect from Tekken. I'm very familiar with the series. I don't come in wanting to see like Interstellar or like some deep writing story, Last of Us, whatever. You know, I'm not expecting that from Tekken. Tekken's always been a goofy, fun fighting game, right? When it came to the story, like you got dads throwing their sons off the cliffs and vice versa. You can't take it too seriously, right? But that being said, I had a lot of fun with the story. I enjoyed it. As far as playing through it, I found it to be an enjoyable story. A lot of stuff I didn't care about, right? There's a lot of stuff that did feel like filler. But I'm telling you, if you've played Tekken for years, if you're familiar with the story, at least like from like Tekken 3 and up, like, oh my goodness. The ending had me so hyped. I'm not gonna spoil, but they do so much fan service in this game. It's crazy. I want to talk about it so bad, but I'm not. Those of you who have played through the story, if you want to talk about it, you can leave. Well, dang, I wouldn't want to spoil anything in the comments either, but those of you who know, y'all know. The story was pretty great when it came to those parts. The fan servicey stuff did its job, and it made me happy, and it made me feel like a kid again, and brought me back to the days of playing Tekken back then, like when I would play it with my siblings and stuff. Like, it brought me back. So I'm thankful for that, because I haven't had that feeling with a Tekken game in a long time, where I just felt like certain characters were done justice in a way, right? My favorite character of Tekken has always been Kazuya. Since the very first time I played, I always liked Kazuya. Most people probably like Jin as their favorite, but no, I always liked Kazuya. He's who I was the most familiar with. I always thought he was a dope character. I didn't know he was gonna turn into a super duper villain and shit. So, like, when I got introduced to the series, he was kind of a good guy in my eyes. Even though I know he was the protagonist at a point, but I didn't know that he was even considered like an anti-hero. To me, he was just a good guy as a kid. I was like, oh, he's cool. He's trying to beat his evil dad, right? It wasn't until I got a little older where I was like, oh, okay, he wants to kill his dad, but then he wants to do this and do that, then do that, then do that. And I was like, damn. Take out his son. So they definitely spiked up his evil levels for sure. Especially on this one, he's pretty devious on this one. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, he's full-fledged evil now. Like, he was evil on the other ones, but on this one, he's like not playing around at all. So he made for a great villain. Him and Jin definitely carry the story as expected, because it's about them. The extra characters are just, I ain't gonna say they're just there, because they do serve a purpose, but I just didn't care for them. I didn't care for some of the other characters, like Lee and all of them. I didn't really care. That's just a personal thing, right? Those aren't my characters that I like. My favorite character to use in Tekken 7 was Miguel. Miguel's not in here, so I'm like, well, he's gone. My favorite characters, story-wise, has always been Kazuya, so I mainly focused on him and Jin. I wanted to see what was going to happen with them next. And they delivered. So, the story, solid. The ending, amazing. Definitely one of the best, most rewarding endings that I've seen personally in a fighting game. It made me so happy. And if you've played it and if you've seen reactions, oh man, like people that actually grew up with Tekken or are just real familiar with the series, I wish I could relive that hypeness that I felt the first time I played that ending. And I realized what was happening. I was just like, oh, what, this, that. Yeah. Namco did their thing on the story. Mainly the ending. They did their thing. Yeah, the other thing about this game, obviously, that makes it amazing is the gameplay. Tekken has always been one of the most challenging, but also most rewarding fighting games that you could get into. The mechanics take months, possibly years to fully master in a Tekken game. Learning a character can take you a while. It's not like some games where you can just hop in and be a master. Like MK1, I felt like I could go in, and if I really take like a whole day to play a character, I could get most of the stuff down, right? Tekken though, for a lot of the characters, you're gonna be sitting there for a cool minute just trying to understand. Okay, this does this, this does that. Oh dang, this can do that. Like that's been my perspective this whole time I've been playing. Is just, oh, I can do this into that, into that, into that. Because there's so many moves, and you're legitimately gonna be stuck on one character for days trying to master them. Probably months trying to figure out. It will take months to a year to master them. I say it will take you days just to get some good bread and butters down, really. At least with some of the characters, right? There are some characters that are a little more scrub killer type, right? Like characters you don't gotta try much with. But like for me, I was playing my boy Kazuya. Kazuya is not an easy character. He's very much a character you have to sit down with and really try to understand how he works. And I'm familiar with Kazuya because I've always played him like since the old Tekkens, but I never really took Tekken seriously. I never played even online besides like Tekken 7 when it first came out. I would play it, and every now and then I would come back to online, but I didn't really take time to learn a lot of characters. Even Kazuya. Like Kazuya is my favorite character story-wise, but I wasn't really good with him when it came to playing competitively. I was better with Miguel, and I think even my Jin was better than my Kazuya. But on this one, I wanted to actually try to get better with him since my boy Miguel's not in here. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun learning more and figuring out how he plays in this one compared to Tekken 7, because he does feel a lot different from Tekken 7. But I was having a blast. Even though he is a challenging character, I still was having a lot of fun. I mainly have been playing Victor though, besides Kazuya. Victor, man, this character is so dope. As soon as I seen the trailer for his character, I already knew, like, yeah, this is the character for me. My favorite game is Metal Gear Solid. This dude is literally a Metal Gear character. Specifically Metal Gear Rising. And as you can see from my cosplay I got him doing, he fits the role quite nicely. So yeah, I've been having a blast playing Victor. Jin's super fun in this game. Reina seems to be pretty fun. I dabbled with her a little bit, but not too much. There's a lot of characters on this game. I really like the roster, despite missing Miguel. That's the only thing I'm like, damn. But The roster's solid to me. I got everyone I would want to play for the most part. Got Victor, Kazuya, Jin, Brian, Steve. Like, there's some solid characters, fun characters. And one of the things about Tekken is that it's a legacy game. So, or a legacy series, I should say. So a lot of the moves that you're familiar with from old games tend to carry over. Some of them aren't as good as they used to be, but if you played Tekken 7 and you were like really good, you're probably going to be really good at Tekken 8. So I'll put it like that. And for those of you newcomers who are trying to get into Tekken now, have no fear, because you have an abundance of options at your disposal in order to get better at this game. If you're trying to learn Tekken, this game gives you everything you need in order to improve your gameplay. From the basic training mode, which is amazing, teach you how to punish certain moves, teach you how to react to certain stuff, what's the best move as far as frame advantage, all that stuff it provides. If you're trying to see what you did wrong in a match, right? Say you lost to somebody, you're like, damn, I don't know how to get past that move. You can go to the replays and literally replay that match and see what move best punishes the move that the opponent was doing to you. So if your opponent was spamming some move and you just couldn't seem to get past it, you go to training mode, well, go to the replay and then train through the replay mode and just practice punishing that move, practice dodging that move. They give you so many options. They cared about this game. Obviously they had a bigger budget, right? Tekken 7 sold a lot of copies and it shows. They put a lot of effort into this game. And if you're really trying to get into the series, you should have no problem being able to adjust to things. As long as you're willing to put in the work, it will take some time, because there's going to be people playing that have been playing Tekken for years that you'll be going up against, and you're going to have to figure out how to punish certain moves. You're going to have to figure out the matchups and all of that. But it is very much possible because of everything this game gives you. And like I said, even through the training mode too, if you wanted to, you could put the punish options and a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So I'm like trying to remember everything, but they give you a lot of tools to figure out how to beat certain characters. And like I said, you can go into the replays and see literally what you did wrong and fix it on the fly. Be like, okay, now I know how to punish that move. And I can tell people probably be doing that when I face them, because I faced some people when I was using Victor, and the way that they would punish me, I'm like, how did they know that? Like, they either seen a YouTube video or or they were training, which is the good thing to do, right? That's the right answer. They probably were just labbing it and figuring out how to punish, because I would do certain moves and I'm like, how do they know how to punish that, you know? Yeah, Victor's fun. But yeah, like I said, the game gives you a lot of tools. There's a lot of options. Another key feature to this game is the Super Ghost Battle, which is one of my favorite additions. You can literally go and find the best player of Tekken. Like, you can go to the leaderboards, look for some of the best players, and you can fight their ghost. Basically, the ghost is the AI copying your moves, right? You do some moves to the AI, you beat it up a little bit, the AI will analyze it and then start to mimic your behaviors and start to fight like you. Now, it's not 100% accurate. Sometimes the ghosts do drop the combos and they do some weird stuff because it's still an AI. But there's times when the ghost be giving me a good fight, like, I'm not gonna lie. And the ghost will do some combos, I'm like, damn. Alright, I see you. Yeah, the ghost be giving a good fight sometimes. Especially, like I said, if you go to the leaderboards and you just download. I was doing that. I was just downloading some of the highest ranked players, Ghost, and fighting against them. And I was learning a lot. And of course, some of them aren't going to give a good fight. It's kind of 50-50. One moment, the ghost will be going crazy on you, doing all kinds of combos and shit, mixing you up. Then the next moment, it will just be standing there, not doing nothing, just getting his ass beat. So, it really can depend. But overall, I think it's a really fun addition. I'm glad they added it. Especially if you're trying to learn and you're actually trying to learn new combos and different routes. That's a good way. That's one of the best ways for sure. Next to YouTube and the combos that they show in the game, like the combo trials, which they do have in this game. And I do recommend that you try them because they can help a lot. Even the sample combos that you see in like the start menu, or the pause menu I should say, everything helps and everything should be attempted because, as I said before, this game has a really deep learning curve. And if you really want to understand a character, it's best to try the combos, learn their moves. Like, even though there's a lot of moves, you want to take the time to learn the basics, get it all down, because it does make a difference. Like, it really does. The heat system is another new feature that has been added to the gameplay. And I know some people aren't much of a fan of the heat system. Me personally, I like it. I think it adds some fun to the game. The most annoying thing is just, I believe it's called the heat smash. So as soon as someone activates it, they just they can hit you out of your move 9 times out of 10. And that's a little annoying because you'll be like running up on somebody and then you already know they're gonna try to hit you with the heat smash or whatever it's called. But sometimes you can bait it out, but I've had times where I would bait it and I still would get hit. Even if I like backdash to avoid it, I still would end up getting hit depending on who you're fighting. So you want to be careful of that. But the heat system is dope. It basically gives you a buff in a sense. It adds new moves or amplifies your moves. It can extend combos. That specifically is called the heat dash, which gives you just another way to apply pressure, extend combos and things like that. It kind of reminded me of a drive rush in a way, but still different. Yeah, and I'd say this is a good feature. I don't have many gripes with it. I'll have to see as the game progresses and as time goes on how much I like it, but as of now, I think it's a good addition to Tekken. The rage arts are back and the best that they've ever looked. These are the most cool rage arts that I've seen in it. Well, they just were introduced in Tekken 7, but I prefer all of these rage arts over that game for sure. Kazuya's one is sick, especially compared to Tekken 7 where you just shooting the dang laser eye. Raven's is amazing. Yoshimitsu's amazing. Like, they actually put a lot of effort into the rage art, so I was happy about that. Not to say that they didn't before, but you know, T7s they're alright. The DLC characters introduced were when the rage art started to get a little more creative, in my opinion, or more cool looking on Tekken 7. But this one, Tekken 8, they came out swinging with the rage art, so happy about that. They also brought back Tekken Ball, which surprised me. I don't. This is surprised about that. They added something else, but I can't say nothing. That's in the story mode, but they did add something else. Tekken Ball is fun. Just another way to kill time, take a break from the fighting. It's pretty much volleyball, but instead of trying to hit the ball into the opponent's goal, you're actually trying to hit the opponent with the ball and take down their life. So it's something else to do. I believe the last Tekken game that had this mode was Tag 2. So it's welcome. Any extra content, extra modes, I always appreciate it because the developers didn't have to do this, but it shows that they really cared and they wanted to add variety to the game compared to previous entries. So I'll take it. And speaking of variety, they also went even further when it comes to the story. Besides the main storyline, you also get Arcade Quest, which is pretty much you take your own avatar into this world and you're trying to become the best Tekken player. That's like how I can summarize it. You face different opponents, you form bonds, and hopefully you can win tournaments and become the best player. It's fun. I believe it's mainly aimed at new players because it helps you learn different mechanics depending on which character you're using. It shows you moves. So it's definitely worth trying, especially if you're a newcomer. And I thought it was a little fun story. But besides that, you also get the character stories, which are what you would expect. You play through a couple battles with a specific character, and once you finish it, you get an ending basically showing what's been going on with them during the events of the game. And sometimes it's just what you would expect from Tekken, a goofy ass ending. But it's all welcome, and I'm glad that the developers included all of this in. Thanks, Namco. The online itself in this game is very good from my experience. I've had a couple hiccups here and there where things will kind of glitch out. There's this one glitch I had. I wasn't able to capture it. I forgot to capture it, but the screen turned all pixely looking, and it was really weird when I was playing online. And it stayed like that until I restarted the game. It was weird. I hadn't seen that before, but it did happen to me once. And I had another bug where like me and this dude were just frozen at a stage. We were just stuck there during the intros. And yeah, like every now and then you'll come across something like that, but 9 times out of 10 I've had really good connections, really good matches. Especially if you're playing wired, you're gonna have some pretty solid gameplay. And you can even tweak the settings to be either more fluid based or response based. So say if it's laggy and you want things to be more based off like how responsive the game is, like you want it to be more responsive, then you can do that. But if you want the game to be more fluid, you can do that as well. So they give you a lot of options when it comes to online. I've had a lot of fun moving through the ranks. I made it to Vanquisher as of now with Victor. So I'm at Vanquisher, Victor. I'm at Warrior with Kazuya right now. And I think I haven't played Jin in a little bit, but I would say I was close to Warrior with Jin too. But I just got Kazuya into Warrior. You know, nothing too crazy, but shit, I'll take it. Just because my Kazuya is like alright, you know, he's alright right now, but you know, my Victor is for sure better, and I've been having a lot of fun playing him. I don't know if he replaces Miguel. Man, I miss Miguel. I don't know if he replaces Miguel as far as like fun factor for me, but he's up there. He's up there for sure. So yeah, the online is good. And a final note that I gotta talk about is the customization. Because what's Tekken without customization? And man, the customization on this game is really, really good. The fact that I can make big balls on this game, that should tell you, hey, this is badass, right? This game is badass. You can make big balls. I've seen people making Leon, Wesker. I made Dante. I got like a little bootleg Dante, but he's cool, right? You can make dudes from what did I see? I seen what's that guy's name? A character from Jujutsu Kaisen. Just a whole bunch. I can't even remember every character. I've seen so many crazy creations just from the customization of this game. It's crazy. And Tekken's always been like this. Tekken has always been goofy. It's just, you know, it's always had goofy customization. You'll see people wearing bread hats and all types of shit. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't know if it has as many options as previous games, but I like what they have in this game for sure. I felt like I was able to do everything that I wanted to do as far as making my character look like someone else, right? I didn't have no problem making Victor look like Big Boss, or even like Dante, at least a little bit. People that were making Leon with Lars and whoever, they made him look just like Leon I played this one dude using Leon. I was like, damn, he looks just like Leon. Like, it's crazy. It's just, but hey, that's Tekken. Tekken is just feature rich. One of the most deep, rewarding fighting game experiences that you're gonna have for sure. I want to say ever. Like, it's that good. It really is. Believe the hype. It's really that good. I think it's a better game than MK1. I like MK1. I'm not one of the people that hates MK1. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I thought this was better. I'm having more fun. Street Fighter is really good. Tekken's really good. This is just a really good time to be a fighting game fan. You got so many heavy hitters. Well, shit, all the heavy hitters came out. So when I think about it, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter all have new games right now. And it's hard for me to say whether or not I know I like this one better than Street Fighter 6 as far as fun factor. I can't say if it's a better experience overall, like if this is a better game, but they're like neck and neck for sure. I personally am having more fun with Tekken now. And Street Fighter is my favorite fighting game series, but I can admit that Tekken's a more fun game to me. So it's just a good time to be a fighting game fan. You got a lot to choose from. You got Street Fighter, Tekken, MK, Grand Blue. It's just a good time to be a fighting game fan. And this game in particular, it delivers. It delivers in every area. The story, which was pretty okay at first, but that ending, if you're a fan, you're gonna love that ending. You're gonna love. I freaked out on some of the stuff with that ending. No exaggeration. It made me feel like a kid again. The gameplay is as solid as ever. New moves at your disposal. Deep learning curve as always. An abundance of practice options. You just can't. And not just practice options, you got an abundance of features on the game in general. The character stories, arcade quests, Tekken Ball. I'm just like, damn. It's just, yeah, this is a good game. It's hard to beat. It's gonna be a hard game to beat. It's supposed to last like 10 years too, so we're gonna be playing this for a while. I'm like, honestly, I wish, even though I know they probably aren't, because they're not like NetherRealm, but I wish that they would do a DLC story. I'm not even gonna lie. Because I don't want to wait 10 years to see what happens next. Please, man, don't do that to me. It's 10 years? Like, come on now. I might not even be thinking about Tekken. I might be in Tekken for real, like, by 10 years. Like, damn. But I hope they do a DLC story. I'm not gonna lie. I do hope that. Probably won't happen, but a man can dream. I'm excited to see what they do for the DLC characters. I know we're getting Eddie. He looks pretty cool. Really curious to see who they're gonna add next. And yeah, this is just, like I said, this is a great time to be a fighting game fan. An amazing time to be a Tekken fan. And I hope all of you are playing. And if you were thinking about playing it, don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. That's all I gotta say. This is Solid J. I hope all of you are having a great night or day, depending on when you watch this. Feel free to leave anything you want to talk about in the comments, whether you want to talk about fighting games in general, Tekken, what's your favorite game, anything. I'm down for it. And feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you want to keep up with my content. This is Solid J. Take it easy and play this game.